I have over probably 1,000 hours between Civ 5 and 6. Yeah. A perfectly balanced Age of Mythology 2 strategy you definitely shouldn't try. Is it racism? Oh, yup.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Age of Mythology Retold. That's right, they've remastered that lovely classic game so that in 2024 you can enjoy a handcrafted RTS experience where everything works exactly as it's intended. All units have counters, all the strategies are balanced, and no dastardly British folk will be breaking your game.
Unpopular opinion, I think single-player games are allowed to be unbalanced, and so are multiplayer. I think that perfectly balancing games is extremely... It sucks the fun out of the game. It does, I'm sorry. It's difficult to balance a game and keep it fun.
This is, of course, the timeline that the developers wanted. Unfortunately for them, I've drunk some Yorkshire tea gold today, and so I'm going to be demonstrating one of the silliest ways you can play Age of Mythology Retold. Is my strategy 100% flawless? No, but it is 100% silly and entertaining. Welcome, one and all, into Age of Mythology. Our goal is to defeat these 5 AIs, all on their own different islands. To defeat them, we need to destroy every unit they own and force them to surrender to the might of my glorious empire. As you can see, it's very similar to Age of Empires. We have...
I was about to say, man, it does look very similar. Yeah, you just start in Age 1.
Villager units that must gather resources. We've got food, wood, and gold. What makes Age of Mythology so special is the existence of mythological units.
Ah, that's neat.
Whilst you can play this game with human soldiers and heroes, you can instead recruit the Loch Ness Monster, or Medusa. So whilst there is a...
Oh, so it's like Warcraft 3 with hero units. Okay, that's actually kind of neat.
Serious RTS game being played, it can very rapidly go into the world of wacky. There is also this lovely, wonderful lightning bolt resource, which is known as Favor. It basically represents our civilization's ability to do godly powers, some of which are pretty incredible, like this first one that just allows us to grow woods out of thin air. Now, the particular map we're playing on is called Islands, and it basically means we get to run around on our own little island without having to worry too much about what the other AI are doing. This is...
Oh my god. Chat, I fucking hated fighting AI at a certain point when I was a kid, because for those that don't know, microing is really important for Age of Empires, especially against ranged units. And what happens is they perfectly micro out of like attacks that you physically would not be able to do unless you were like a giga. Like even professional RTS players cannot react quickly enough. Yeah, microing when you're versing an AI, they cheat and they're just assholes. Yeah, and the Archer Cavalry Kite, yes!
This is, of course, very useful for us because it's going to give us space and time to absolutely demolish this game's balance. You see, whilst we might be all-powerful gods with the ability to summon titans, we are restrained by some things. The most annoying of which is, of course, the population cap. We need to find a way to think a little bit outside of the box, and that brings me to my ultimate plan today. We're playing as Gaia of the Atlanteans, a god
Whoa, she's got honkers.
focused on life, nature, healing, growth, tranquility, and printing mechanized death robots. Now, in order to reach the second age and begin our little cheesy exploits, we're going to need to accrue 400 food. Luckily for us, we can do so by murdering the innocent little piggies of the land and converting their meaty goodness into tasty sausages, or perhaps even a more British delicacy like toad in the hole. There are 5 ages in this game, with each one adding progressively more powerful units and world-ending abilities. However, we get our world-ending unit right here in the second age.
Whoa, motherhood?
Leto here gives us the ability to build automatons, which cost only 90 gold and 6 favor. They do have the downside of taking up 2 unit capacity, and given our lack of unit space, we can't even really build many of them. However, they are special. Oh, so special. And there we go, fantastic. We've ascended into the second age and been granted our first automaton. It's basically a magical suit of armor. It's very strong against normal human beings, and it's even pretty good against mythological units. What makes them even greater, however, is their ability to repair themselves. When an automaton is killed, it doesn't just disappear off the map. No, it is instead flung onto the ground as a pile of rubble. After the—
That's OP! You can't res units.
At this point, a friendly automaton can walk on up to it and repair it back into existence. As you can imagine, that's pretty darn useful.
Yeah,
now, one thing I can already do is move into the third age, which is exactly what I will choose. Now, in our case, we're going to go for Felia here, because she leans a little bit more to our ultimate gameplay plan. Anyway, I've just dropped some forces off on a secondary island, where we will hopefully be able to eventually start getting another settlement going. We are rapidly advancing through the ages and outpacing our AI opponents. This is simply because I have massively overproduced villagers. Normally, this is a terrible strategy, as it means our late-game military will be smaller, because almost all of my unit cap is filled with farmers. But my—
Oh, but if you revive them, you can go over the cap because the game doesn't stop you. Oh, okay. I see.
Plan will bypass this problem using the power of necromancy. Right, and fantastic. In the third age, we can do some pretty jazzy things. Namely, we can actually get trading with llamas. Yes, this is how we're going to be making most of our money. Little llama caravans can go back and forth, generating us gold. And seeing as the only resources we need in order to build automatons are gold and favor, that's exactly what we're going to do. We can only build 8 of these houses. After that point, we've hit our capacity, which I think settles at around about having 200 units. And now we must simply prepare this island to be a generator of gold, wealth, and favor. We're going to be sending over as many oracles as possible to fill this landmass and prepare it as the eventual future backbone of our economy. Meanwhile, our llama caravans are set up and they're already making good amounts of money. Okay, I've just noticed that the birds can make noises. This is actually incredible. So what's stopping me from just building 7,000 man-of-war jellyfishes and ruling the waves harder than old Britannia? Well, those dastardly developers introduced a population cap, meaning after we expand and build, we should hit a limit of around about 250. This is terrible, as even if we disband our entire economy in villages, we could only recruit a maximum of 50 jellyfishes. As much as I dislike this decision, it does make sense, because if you could have infinite units, it doesn't matter if you could be countered by a better strategical mind, because even an endless tide of peasanty humans with sticks would defeat a god eventually.
Those damn balancers and shit. You can mod the population cap. Yeah, that's true, but that's the whole part of being an RTS. You have to have a population cap. Plus, like, you know, map balancing and all that. What the frick, man? Hold on, let me read this. I remember loving Warcraft 3, but really hating sometimes finding the AI because I could only manage a few units at a time. That's what I'm saying! Again, the AI cheats. They love to cheat. They're smarter than you. Most of the time.
Now, luckily for us, I found a way to exceed the unit cap. This perfectly balanced mechanic is what we'll be cheesing today in order to turn this challenging battle into a walk in the park. Now, in our case, we're rapidly generating a copious amount of resources, which is very good indeed, but we're nearing a point of contention in our society. You see, resources are not infinite in this game, and one of the greatest challenges you'll run into in this game is working out how much of your limited unit cap can be devoted to the economy and how much can be devoted to fighting. It's a challenging balance to
but reviving doesn't cost anything. That's so cheesy.
Maintain. Anyway, we've received Pandora's box, so now we can unleash evil upon the world at a cheaper price. This has lowered the cost of our warrior automatons to 90 gold and 4 favor, which is actually a calculation that is very, very advantageous to us. Now, in our case, we're finally ready to ascend into the 4th and final age, which is
This is chat. Look, this is you, Giga Chance, Atlas.
Very
lifting
jazzy
up the
indeed.
world on your
Most
back.
of these are relatively balanced. However, we're going to go with the deity that allows our mythical units to heal. I think it'll take you a small amount of brain power to actually work out why that might be beneficial. Now, by setting up this more advanced llama trade with this town over here, we're going to be able to generate a copious amount of money. Llamas will be able to run back and forth, and with each trip they'll make 12 gold. Because we're going to need them in order to do something slightly cheesy. Oh, and in this age, we're of course going to want to pick up mythic rejuvenation, which allows our myth units to heal, and we'll also grab them celerity so that they can move and attack faster. All in all, our warrior automatons are getting buffed. Quite strongly indeed. Right, and some of the other AIs are now advancing into the mythic age. Unfortunately,
Dude, he's so ahead of that. Look at the points. He's got double the next person.
for them, their score is not as good as mine. I'm up to 40,000, but this is because I've maintained an incredibly strong economy. Now, one thing I've definitely focused on is getting as many long-term resource producers as possible.
I don't know if this would work though if it wasn't if it was on a landlocked map. Like the fact that he's on an island and he can kind of just do what he wants. I don't know. It seems kind of cheesy.
Having access to an infinite supply of food is brilliant because it will allow us to sell it for gold. Alternatively, by spending a huge amount of our pop resource cap on llamas, doing trade deals, we of course have more money to spend on automatons. So with our process set up, I'm now going to build as many automatons as possible and have them all stack up over here.
A few moments later.
Just like that, all of these lovely automatons have been made. These are warrior automatons. They have nearly 400 health and they regenerated at 2.5 points per second. As you can see, we've spent almost all of our gold and further resources building these automatons, and we are rapidly reaching our unit cap. We simply need more money, so let's sell some of our wood and some of our meat in order to make it, and then continue to spam out even more warrior automatons. As you can see, we've achieved the maximum capacity of units. Our construction queues are no longer going to continue producing. They will simply assemble the requested unit, but not spawn them in until we go beneath the cap. But of course, remember that automatons have a special ability. They can repair themselves. This entertainingly means that if I select this warrior automaton and delete him, a friend will come along and repair him back into existence. He is collapsed on the ground, his friends run around him, punch him with hammers, and he is rebuilt. But in that time, we dropped beneath our unit cap, and a new automaton was
This is what I was saying. You can go over the cap if you can revive them.
consequently constructed. You can probably detect the issue here, as it allows us to do some very silly things, like for example deleting 28 of my units. This will mean the remaining automatons will run around and repair the ones that are down on the floor.
Meanwhile, you can make more, and then...
And now that we've dropped beneath our unit cap, new automatons are spawning in, and they'll wander on over and repair their fallen brethren, bring them back to life, and get them ready to join the fight. And here we go, our automatons are hard at work and returning them.
This is what AI wants you to do, man. They want you to make an infinite
into
army
their
of
glorious forms. This construction is going well. We're up to 40 warrior automatons now. In fact, if we research...
Look at how overcapped he is. Overcapped 20 cap.
we're up to 43. Make that 46 and 49. Splendid. Now, in order to move our army around, we're going to need 4 transport ships so that we can begin our island hopping campaign. Anyway, let's load as many of these bad boys as we can on top of this boat. Oh wait, it can actually carry 35 units. Oh, that's very good. Oh, we are going to absolutely stomp the next most powerful empire, which for us is Ribe with 27,000 points. Anyway, we now need...
Dude, he has 65,000 points.
to kill off quite a few of these automatons so that we can then spawn in the next generation. Oh my goodness, the red player is trying to build a Titan gate. Very exciting. Ooh. And we can do that too, so I guess we might as well. We've got a lot of humans lying around. So let's just have our massive pedestrianized workforce just...
Is that like a wonder? Is that like a wonder?
Go to town and build up this Titan gate for me. And we've got our various transport ships getting ready now so that they can take part in our glorious invasion of the automatons. This is eventually going to start probably breaking down the FPS of the game, but that's okay. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Anyway, the automatons are now coming back to life. We'll see how many we have after our next wave of spawns. Okay, we now have 67 automatons. Very nice indeed. We're going to need to kill off quite a few of these to get under the unit cap. So let's kill 36 of them. Barely enough to get us under the unit cap, so I'll kill off a few more. And here we go. Here come even more automatons. In total, we now have 73 automatons. A verifiably massive army.
It's a disease!
Oh my goodness, our Titan is ready. Look at him. What an incredible big boy. He's such a big stompy guy. So fun. Anyway, one thing we can still build is a wonder. A stupidly powerful building that requires 5,000 gold. Luckily for me, I have near infinite money, so I can just dump pretty much all of my food onto the open market at the base price of 29 gold, and that is enough to fling my economy up to the point where I'm able to build a wonder. Anyway, I now have exactly 100 automatons at my disposal, well above the unit cap of the game, but that's a-okay. Anyway, I'm gonna send my Titan off into the distance to go and murder my enemies, and have my glorious civilians build a massive palace in my honor. Oh, and yes, get all of my automatons to load up onto a massive boat. In they go, splendid. There we go, over 100 automatons all loaded onto a boat, marching directly towards the next most powerful being on this planet, the purple player, located somewhere around here. I'm pretty sure their town center's somewhere on this island. Yes, here's their innocent little island. Fantastic. Full of...
He didn't mod the cab. That's not how it works. No way. Icy rated us. Let's go, gamer! Oh my god, I'm so honored. You wanted me to be the Vitusi that you raid? Wow. Catch all the fucking bricks, bro. Hurry up, boot it up. Shut up! Thanks for the raid, King.
Norse mythological units. Oh, how pathetic. And yes, this island is going to be filled with the enemy's greatest warriors, but luckily for us, we have a deployable army of 100 soldiers that we can just plonk on down and use to murder everything. Anyway, big boy, get stomping. There might be a dragon here, but who cares? I have a bajillion automatons, and I can even build this magic sacred tree that is going to heal them. Doesn't matter that a massive
do that?
enemy unit just got spawned on top of us. We can get this thing murdered in no time. Luckily for us, their basic, boring human units are relatively easy to murder, along with their town centers. We have a few fallen friends here, which we can repair, and the nearby tree actually makes the repair process even faster, bringing them back to life in no time. We genuinely can't be stopped. The game's actually given up on tracking our military population because it just knows it's far too high. Anyway, that's another one of their fortresses torn down. Meanwhile, more and more automatons are being brought back to life. There we go. Assemble your brothers, my friends. Oh, there's some mythological beasties in the water. There you go. Kill this Loch Ness monster looking thing. We're not even in melee range. That's fine. Destroy the port instead. With this, the purple faction is going to be dead very shortly. There will be absolutely no survivors. Ooh. And on our side, there will be no casualties. Oh no, we opened up a building and it was filled with innocent civilians carrying food. Oh no, they tragically fell over on the ground.
Chat, this should be a freaking movie. Infinite automatons. He's such a menace to society.
And they're hurting their ankles. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Oh, what a shame. What a shame indeed. They would all fall over. Anyway, in total, we still have 83 active automatons and a dragon that we can't really do anything about. That's okay. We'll just get our lovely men repaired. What can I do to kill this thing? Kind of appears to have given up a little bit, which is good for us. Anyway, we're going to get most of our army loaded back onto the boats and see if we can find ourselves the next AI threat. I do believe the red faction is actually opening up their Titan gate, which is definitely something I would prefer to stop. Oh, Ripe says, will you have mercy upon my realm? Yes. Yes, I will. So that is now one of the AIs resigning, which is very useful for us. And in total, we lost absolutely no one in that process. And there we go. The entire army has disembarked from the island, leaving no one behind. Splendid. Right, we must continue our glorious quest. We're discovering more and more fantastic relics. And yes, an enemy. It's the blue player, otherwise known as Knossos. Here's their military that's just arrived. Good for them. They'll be needing it, as I intend to unload an entire military just on top of itself. There we go. Here comes their forces, but here are mine, easily vanquishing anything that comes our way. Splendid. This purple faction will be dead in no time. We found the red faction. Here they are with their
the furry faction. Look, they have a 3-headed a dog, man.
Absolutely mega titan. They are now the second most powerful faction in the game, so we will need to deal with them eventually. But until that point, they shouldn't be too bad. Meanwhile, my massive automaton force is now sweeping its way through this civilization.
So
we have encountered one of the few rare bugs in this game. You see, in the current version, if an automaton unit is hit with a knockback attack and it kills them, instead of breaking into a million pieces, they just kind of stand around here like so, glitched out and unable to do stuff. More lovely civilian villagers transporting resources across the map. Silly fools, well, we'll have them all murdered in no time. And these massive enemy mythological units like this free-headed sea monster, well, they're dead instantly as well. Anyway, I do believe I've successfully wiped out, the entirety of Knossos, and I'll accept that on behalf of everyone else in this game. And now I will march my titan across to the red player, because they are the only force that can actually withstand me. They have their own little titan. Alright, and there we go. We've loaded
it's a furry, it's a Malachite.
our entire military onto this boat, leaving behind one glitched automaton and one alive automaton on the island to do their thing. I'm actually going to send my force down into the bottom left-hand corner of the map, where I expect the yellow player to be located. I'm also going to spawn a Tartarian gate inside of the red enemy player's city. This bad boy is going to unleash evil beings that can flop around and do damage.
Yo, he just shat out another furry. What the hell?
Anyway, my titan has made it onto their shores, which is quite useful indeed. We're going to stand my titan next to this lovely tree, which should be healing it, all while I try and do my best to find the yellow faction. Here they are. We've located them. Splendid. Let's get our ships down there. The yellow faction are the closest to releasing a titan, and a titan would be very annoying indeed.
72%.
So, of course, we're going to eject all of our entire armed forces onto this tiny little island, and there we go. All 96 of them are going to just rampage around and finish off this empire. Look, here's a stronghold of theirs. 2,600 health. My goodness, it's almost as strong as the Maginot Line, and it's just as useless. Look, they actually have an entire army here. Well, we should be able to just strike our way through that with relative ease. There's various Scorpion Mans and Egyptian units, all very jazzy. Unfortunately,
whoa, he's blade storming.
For them, we are still incredibly powerful. For every one unit they manage to kill of ours, we will be able to summon even more. Anyway, my titan has now been buffed, so it does extra damage, which is very good, and I'm going to have it just murder the enemy titan. And also I can build an additional titan. This seems like a good idea. I suppose we can make this process a little bit easier by spawning in a lovely Tartarian gate. And here goes my big titan punch. Very good. Boom. One more hit should be enough to kill this evil free-headed wolf. Wabam! Oh dear,
Me would I have to end stream?
He's been defeated. Splendid. Meanwhile, for the yellow player, my armies are busy running around, killing civilians who are busy trying to summon a titan from a titan gate, and simultaneously reviving some of our lovely friends. Wait, this is the green faction. Fantastic. I've found the greens as well. They're located on this island. The yellow faction is about to be defeated. I don't really think many of their units even remain, and all of their civilians appear to have accidentally disappeared. Meanwhile, the gate to hell that I opened up inside of the Red's territory is very effective indeed, and proving to be a suitable divergence that is going to let my lovely titan heal up to strength. Right, I've once again unleashed the Tartarian gate onto the green faction this time, which is very fun. I do love the way that these evil kind of spawn in. They just get backflipped out like they're performing in some kind of awesome TikTok gymnastics. Very cool indeed. Much style, such wow. Oh my goodness, that horse is doing so many backflips. I love the physics engine in this game. It's so much fun. Anyway, we need to make sure that there are very few things standing in the way of my conquest of the Red Island. They are attempting to do their best to build a massive wonder. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be much of their civilization left in a very short period of time. Oh dear, the Green Empire is saying that their empire has collapsed, which definitely is indeed the case. I have noticed that. Things do appear to be going bad for them, and most of them are largely down to the existence of gates of hell that coincidentally appeared
You just keep spawning them in as soon as you have favor?
to have spawned in. Anyway, let's get another one in for good measure. Forest on top of their Titan gate to make it more annoying for them. Fantastic. We spawned in yet another Titan. Look at this big boy go. He's going to be great. We're going to send him off to tidy up whatever is going on in the green faction. Speaking of which, I think another gate to the underworld is a good idea. And with the arrival of our automatons, the red faction is definitely having quite the bad time indeed. Right, my dudes, just get to work pillaging all of this into the ground. It's not like they even need houses to live in after we're going to be done with them. Look at them do backflips. Whee! Look, there's some civilian units over here that survived, and they're building a wonder. What? Okay, bring down that wall. Bring down that wall, friend.
That reminds me, when I first started playing not Age of Empires, sorry, Civilization 5, a long time ago, I was in a call with all my friends, and I was getting overrun by barbarians, and my friend was like, okay, I'm gonna send you some units to help you out, because it was like my first couple of times playing, and they were like talking to themselves in the call, and I was silent because I'm trying to figure out the game, and this is like a key moment for me that I remember to this day. Yo, who's building the Great Library? And there's like silence in the call, and everyone's like, I don't know. And then the next turn, it pops up and says, Alana has built the Great Library, and I'm dying to barbarians while I'm doing it the whole time. And they were like, what the fuck? I'm sending units to help you to handle over the barbarians, and you're building a Great Library, you piece of shit? I was like, oops. I never did that again, but still, it was very funny. It was very, very funny.
We must be dealing with this nonsense. I will not be having you build a wonder to try and leave this monstrosity of a world that I've created. Nope, civilians, drop those hammers or your heads. I've chosen the heads, of course, because they're not the smartest tools in the shed. And whabam, just like that, the red faction has been eliminated. Incredible. Meanwhile, for the green faction, they don't even have any...
Yes, essentially you're not really supposed to do that because you're getting overrun by barbarians, which are the enemy. You're putting all your resources into doing something you should probably be using to defend yourself.
Town centers left. Not even sure how they're able to do anything, because I've covered most of that landscape with, of course, Hellgates. Right, I'm going to speed up the game now, because we kind of know what's going to happen here. The poor little AI does its best to deal with the gates of the underworld that I'm constructing, but ultimately it will never be enough. Okay, I've opened up another gate right in the middle of the green faction. They have 4 active gates in their land, and no way to get anything done. I must say, the automatons are incredibly cheesy, very fun. There is basically no counter to the chaos that I've inflicted. I mean, of course, a human player would be able to come up with a solution here, but the AI is not as intelligent. Anyway, when in doubt with what you've constructed, always build another gate to hell. Splendid, that will do the trick nicely. Some would call what I'm attempting cyberbullying, and whilst I would definitely agree with you, I am having a lot of fun.
You're not bullying anyone. It's not cyberbullying if it's AI. The AI has no feelings.
Anyway, there we go. The yellow faction has now been eliminated. I have stomped on their head, leaving just the green faction remaining. With the power of tartar sauce, as I like to call it, we'll be dealing with them very easily. I do really like that this is basically Age of Empires, and one of the units you can get.
Yo, why is the crab humping the sea serpent? Hello? Yo!
That is just, a crab. This level of silliness definitely makes me very happy. And the green player has activated a ceasefire. There we go. So no players can attack them for an extended period of time. Unfortunately, the spawns that I'm spawning in aren't players. So consequently, they're not restricted. Anyway, more evil Satan gates opening up. I think literally they have just these civilians left over here, and that is the remnants of their empire. I'll build a forest to the right of them to limit their escape avenues. But as soon as these 2 people die here, which should happen very quickly, the game will be over. Oh, look at them try. I wonder if it's
Don't show this to Tammy.
Possible to defeat the game entirely without any of your own units and just rely on these gates, because surely that's probably the case. Anyway, right, those green units have been defeated, but surprisingly, the fight continues. There must be other units I cannot quite see, but don't worry, we can solve that with the arrival of 2 absolutely massive titans. Anyway, goodbye, Crabbo. Whee! What a lovely flip he can do. We get another big flip, and bam, there we go. The crab has been murdered. Now all we have is this Hydra, and there we go. Troy says, can we please stop this war before more lives are lost? And you know what? I agree. The death of a crab is indeed enough to end this war for me, and I have become victorious. If we take a look at the post-game statistics, we can see that I allegedly did not have the largest army. I, of course, completely disagree with this. I definitely had the most kills, the highest score, the most relics, and if we take a look at our...
I love score scoreboards for like most deaths. Look at that. They're like rubbing it in. Yeah, you fucking suck.
I definitely had the most kills, the highest score, the most relics, and if we take a look at our overview, yes, we can see it wasn't even close. By checking out the timeline, you can see where I started actually doing my cheese and
automatons.
endlessly increasing the size of my army, which culminated in this point here. From that point, I was then able to conquer my way across the landscapes very easily. Despite the fact that the yellow faction generally had more military units than I did, as soon as we arrived on their island, they were immediately crushed. I was unstoppable this game. A lot of it comes down to the fact that I massively spammed out far more civilian units than anyone rationally needed, but it's because I knew I wouldn't be restrained by the unit cap. I couldn't be stopped at all. Ah, my goodness, what a glorious success. Now this entire strategy...
You can kind of do this in Age of Empires, to be fair. You like kind of, not in this method exactly.
Strategy can be improved even more, for example, by grabbing a few relics like the scales over here that increase the resistance of your myth units, making those automatons even harder to kill. There are of course a few others that would also help, like this relic that improves the speed of caravans, generally just meaning you have more gold to mess about with. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this glance into a very silly game of Age of Mythology. If you have, then make sure to give the video a like, and why not hop on down into the comment section and pledge your worship to our goddess of Gaia and her infinite armies of automatons. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day, my friends, and goodbye for now.
We love Spiff and Bray. He's so funny.